Parliament is said to be the symbol of democracy and the hope of the common man, a place where every citizen's voice can be heard. Every Nigerian expects this of the Parliament. But is this expectation being met? Welcome to the Gavel. This is where we bring together highlights of activities of the National Assembly. I am Lanre Lasisi, and I'll be taking you through all we have for you on the program today. On our lineup, we bring you a wrap of some of the key issues that transpired in the National Assembly, such as the meeting between the Senate and the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale. Also, we will be looking at the legislations that were considered and those passed this week. Our first report is a meeting between the Minister of Health and the Senate.
On the invitation of the Senate, the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, made his way into the Red Chamber in the company of some medical directors and Senator Ita Enang, the Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on National Assembly matters. He was here to brief the Senate on the quality of health care in the nation's teaching hospitals.
For them to function effectively, Your Excellency, distinguished senators, they depend on functional primary care centers and functional secondary care centers.
Professor Adewale did not share the position of the Senate that quality health care provided at tertiary health institutions is poor.
It is not that the services are deteriorating, but the services are overcrowded, people are not happy. But the main problem, Your Excellency, is an appeal. I believe that we will use this opportunity to address the problem of healthcare system, and that is the problem of the states. The states have literally abandoned healthcare, so that everything is now handled by federal. As of today, 14 states are yet to show interest in the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. And because senators represent the entire country, I want to seek your permission to quickly list the 14 states that are yet to register: Kebbi, Jigawa, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Gombe, Rivers, Borno, Zamfara, Ondo, Benue, Taraba, Nasarawa, Ogun, and Sokoto. These are states that are not shown interest. And this is unfortunate because this is a game changer, because money will come to the primary care center. The primary care center, for the first time in the history of the country, will get regular subvention.
He listed some challenges and corrective measures which could improve health care in the country.
The states need to partner with us so that the secondary hospitals are working, so that our teaching hospitals can come back as referral centers, so that the doctors can spend more time with the patients and the patients will be satisfied. And not every case, skin rash, diarrhea and vomiting, I have a headache, I want to check my blood pressure, should go to a teaching hospital or a tertiary center. We also believe that the issue of power supply must be done. We will need support from Minister of Power, Works and Housing with respect to power supply. Also, we are looking into improving the management capacity of our CMD. So we're discussing at the ministry level where some of them will go for management costs. We believe that if you are managing human beings and other resources, you need to be up and doing. And then, lastly, I want to inform Your Excellency that working with the Bureau of Public Enterprise, we have commissioned a firm of consultants, Vesta Healthcare, to do a deep diagnostics of all the teaching and tertiary hospitals in the country. We gave them a 4-week assignment. This is their second week, and they will visit all the hospitals in order to come forward with recommendations as to what exactly do we need to do to make sure that the hospitals function well.
Thank you so much.
Following his address, the lawmakers had questions and suggestions of their own. One lawmaker even made an accusation.
Do you think we need to have a bill, if it will work, to exempt public hospitals, federal medical centers from the kind of tariffs on water and electricity? If we should even excuse them from paying for electricity and water? Will that be helpful and also solve some of the problems which you have raised?
I'm sorry, sir. Every time I go to UCH, I was there last week. It is now a caricature of what I went through. I say so because as far back as the 60s, pathology department had an electron microscope. We don't have. You may argue that we have moved from microscopy to molecular. As far back as 69, it was my job to cultivate lymphoma cells. And you know that Femi Williams of blessed memory was known as Willis sarcoma because we had cells being cultured in UCH. Next room for it, next room. Betty Clark, Montefiore had mycology. Ogumba had filarial worms being cultured. The capacity for cell culture has disappeared from the UCH 40 years after.
There is an initiative of the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing where some teaching hospitals are being linked to their institutions, and a few of them have started. And we are quite confident that if we can do solar, the power consumption will go down. So this is ongoing with respect to power and water.
The Senate wants the budgetary releases to the tertiary hospitals to be looked into, believing that if proper utilization of these funds is ensured, there would be improvements in the quality of healthcare at every level of the nation's healthcare system.
Clearly, it's a concern of all of us, but I am sure if we get the foundation right, the burden will be less on the teaching hospitals and medical centers.
Later in the week, the former Minister of Health, Onyebuchi Chukwu, reacted to comments made by Senator Kabiru Marafa during the visit of the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, to the Senate.
Totally unfounded, very embarrassing, and not becoming of people of that status to accuse another public officer who is no more in office. I left office, I resigned in 2014 to go and contest elections. So for almost getting to 5 years, I've not been in government. And then you are now accusing us wrongly. We never had anything apart from ensuring that due process of procurement was done. The authorities of Federal Medical Center found out that it was above their threshold, 300 million naira. And therefore, according to the Procurement Act 2007, they needed to send it to the Ministerial Tenders Board of the Federal Ministry of Health, their supervising ministry. And that they did.